Now, this is showing us we're going to cut an arch rail right here. That's what that's telling you, okay? Right here tells you your speed per minute.
Which right now is set for 8 feet per
8
minute.
feet per minute. Now, that, depending on what type of wood you're cutting, we could probably do this cut a lot faster, but we're just going to keep it at what it's set for right now.
So if you're doing a thinner cut, a thinner piece of wood, you can probably feed these things a lot faster.
Yeah, like for instance, normally on a straight cut you're going like 20 feet per minute.
All right, so it's reading the part length. Slower do you have this running than normal? Quite a bit, or?
This is pretty much, it goes like probably twice as fast as this.
Right. And that's on a 2 1/4 inch part.
If
you run a thinner part, it's going to go much faster.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to go always a little slower on an arch piece than a straight piece.
Sure.
Straight parts you can go run through here.
Just got to be safe.
Very
okay. The whole premise of the machine. So, along with panels, you can do a lot of different type of radiuses and whatnot.
Yeah.
So. That's the basic run. Now, that's a very shallow arch, and ours can do much deeper than that.
That's an 1.5 inch drop.
And we can do up to 5 inch.
Up to 5 inch, yeah.
Which is
over up to 5 inches, 30-inch long piece with the eyes. Anything over 30 inches, there's a manual setup, which is right here. You want to see it.
Well, 30 inch is pretty big, but if you want to do a manual setup, then yeah, go ahead and show us the manual setup. Yeah.
If you want to do a manual setup, you will, right here, your length of your part.
Sure.
You click on that, say you have a 45-inch rail that you want a 1-inch drop on. You hit 45, enter. Now it will do a 45-inch
That's pretty easy.
rail. With
so the optical eyes don't matter what it says, it's always going to be 45-inch radius, okay.
It'll read your board when it comes in, it'll know
that it's longer.
That's where to start it.
Oh, I got you, okay.
The reason
starting in any part of the radius.
The reason you only do 30 inches is you have 30 inches
of optical read.
Your optical eye, and it needs to be able to know this is where it started and this is where it stopped. Now I can read it.
Sure.
Over that, it only takes the beginning. It knows where the board starts, and it won't know where it ends, except for this. It knows it's 45 inches
Well, that
long.
took 2 seconds to change that too. So.
And it's
okay. Cool.
You can also do
excuse me,
split arches.
Okay, show me what that is.
So right now it's set.
Oh, you do like a half arch,
which is going to do your eyebrow arch.
So in the case of a common arch, you can do that.
Like a common arch rail, you have a split right, so it'll split it to the right.
Excuse me.
Or a left, split it to the left.
Excuse me again. Now this doesn't change?
That picture won't change, no.
It won't change.
It just knows you're doing an eyebrow arch.
Because it says split left and split right.
Split
okay.
left, split right, or full.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, now, if you had to describe this machine and what it does do, and you were telling somebody who didn't understand what this machine would do, what would you say?
I would say this machine basically would take up the place of just about any machine in your shop. Coping, straight rail cuts, arched rail cuts, straight panel cuts, arched panel cuts, it'll do it all.
And the arching is without pre-radiusing the machine, or the material.
Yeah,
it will do it out of a square piece of material. Okay.
You can send a rectangle board through and it comes through with an arch.
With a radius. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Same with panels.
Awesome.
And
this machine only has 470 running hours on it, meaning profiling hours are probably less than a quarter of that.
Yeah.
By running hours means that's how long it's actually been turned on.
Yeah, I would say, because you have it running, when this chain is moving, that's how many hours.
I got you. Okay.
But, I mean, you don't have boards running.
It's not actually profiling hours yet.
Yeah. I mean, this machine, it'll work faster than one person can
feed it.
I mean, you physically can't get over there. I mean, you have two people.
Sure.
And
And that's how we ran it. We would
That's
have
how-
somebody at each end.
You'd
Yeah.
have somebody feeding, somebody picking it off the end, and it's nonstop. You can do thousands of panels, thousands of parts a day, thousands.
And that's
without-
what
without a problem.
And that's what it was set up for. That's
Yeah.
why it's so heavy duty. Okay, thanks, Mike. Okay, so we talked about the capability of this machine and how little we have run it. If this machine, the versatility of this machine means if you were to run a thinner, smaller part, that the capabilities of the machine go up fourfold.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're running it on thicker, harder material.
Yeah,
So if you
you're
were
a-
to put this in a cabinet environment, you could run
You could-
literally one part after the other, and you could, like you said, you could do
The-
thousands of pieces a day.
Well, the feed rate will go up. If you're running a 3/4 inch cabinet door, say,
Right.
you can go probably twice as fast.
Oh, at
Because you're
least.
cutting half as much material.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll blow through stuff.
Right. So it's very versatile in the fact that it can do almost any part with, including radiuses.
Any part, including radiuses, cope, stick, panels.
And you have the quick change tooling in the back, so it means
Yep.
all you have to do is have the right cutter already mounted to an HSK.
Yep.
It pops in and pops out, and in a
Yep.
matter of seconds you're reprogrammed and ready to go.
You're set up, ready to go.
Cool. Thank you. The Jenkins shape and sand, specially customized to do up to 2.5 inch thick parts with 5 inch radius, where the standard is normally 3 to 3.5 inch deep radius, with twin 20 horsepower counter rotating heads and 2 sanding heads.